We're back on the early edge with Emory Hunt and Tom Casale to talk some college football, get ahead of the lines in group of 5 games and FCS games. And Tom, I have to start with you here because we're going to do favorite Mountain West games, MAC. We're going to go to all kinds of different plays here. But you've been talking about a backup Air Force quarterback since the preseason. And you've been telling me and everybody else, wait for your moment to bet this Air Force team when this backup quarterback comes in. We were talking pre-show. Is now the time?
Now is the time. You said this summer, see, I said Liam Sarka. You said, I'm going to write that name down. Someone close to the Air Force program told me he's the next great option quarterback. They said they would likely start the season with Josh Johnson, be loyal to him. He's an upperclassman. That's the way Air Force runs things. But he says when Sarka gets in there, watch out. Well, he started the second half against Boise State. How about 356 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and 23 points? Is that good? So I just think the market, listen, you know, people like me and Emory who know about Air Force and South Carolina State, sometimes we can get ahead of the market. I think they're not up to speed yet with how good Sarka is going to be at quarterback. You know, Hawaii beat 3 awful teams. I just think they're a little overvalued. They had trouble stopping the run against Stanford. They're light at linebacker. Give me Air Force to win this game easily.
Wow, Air Force. So first of all, Emory, I know you know Liam Sarka as well. So if you have any commentary there, please go ahead and expand upon what Tom said, but also talk to me about Utah State.
Yeah, Sarka is the best passer. It now makes them a quadruple option that I like to say when talking about Air Force. But I've been under this blue haze, and maybe I'm feeling kind of blue. But when you look at Utah State's running back, Miles Davis, outstanding tailback. And when you think about Utah State and how they've been able to put up points as of late, them being 22.5-point underdogs versus Vandy seems like a bit much. So I'm taking Utah State plus the points to keep this one both close and entertaining. You think about Miles Davis, you think about that run game, you think about them putting points up on the board. I like Utah State to keep this one under that number.
All right, let's move to the MAC. And Emory Hunt, I'm going to start with you because you go from a huge dog to a slight favorite here in Central Michigan.
I've been rather humble since week 1, since my Louisiana Raging Cajuns lost to Rice, and we lost to Eastern Michigan last weekend. So I haven't been pumping my Cajuns all season long, but I will take another shot at Eastern Michigan this week against Central Michigan. I like Central Michigan's ability to score the ball consistently throughout the course of a ball game. Eastern Michigan put their best output offensively against my Raging Cajuns, but that's not a barometer of how good this offense is. They're facing a very solid defense in the Chippewa, so I will lay these 5.5 points with Central Michigan.
Tom, I want to ask you, what other show on a Monday is giving out a Bowling Green, Ohio under? Talk to me.
Yeah, I like Emory's Central Michigan pick too. It was between those two plays for me. Yeah, but I'm going to go under here. You know, I took Louisville in the first half against Bowling Green last week, and I mentioned how bad their offense is. They're only averaging 318 yards per game. They play at a very slow pace. So the problem for Bowling Green, if they get behind, they don't have a lot of options. And I think Ohio is going to get ahead of them. They're not going to have to do much in the fourth quarter. I think Bowling Green continues to struggle scoring here. I'll go under 51.5.
Tom, give me another group of 5 or FCS game that you got your eye on.
Yeah, I'm looking at North Texas at 12.5. You know, listen, Army came back against them, but North Texas has been pretty good this year, especially offensively, where they're averaging 47 points per game. South Alabama's coming off a loss to a bad Coastal Carolina team, and they're giving up 34 points per game. I don't know how they stop North Texas. Maybe it's a higher scoring game. I would also look at a North Texas team total in that game as well. I just think they scored too many points.
And Emory, you're looking at this Memphis-Tulsa game.
We're not talking enough about the Memphis Tigers and how they may be the G5 representative in the 12-team postseason because they are playing really good football. And I know this is a 13.5-point spread. I know Tulsa beat Oklahoma State, but like I said about Eastern Michigan, this is not the Oklahoma State that we're used to. Actually, after the show, I might get on the phone with our SID at University of Louisiana and try to schedule Oklahoma State at the end of the season so we can get a win out there because they are terrible. So I trust Memphis to lay this 13.5 points against Tulsa, who's playing inspired ball under new head coach Trey Lamb.
You're so right about Oklahoma State. Tough sledding over there. All right, how about a G5 or FCS team this week that can pull off an outright upset? Emory, I'll start with you.
Rhode Island, ranked 6th in the country, looks like one of the top FCS teams in the nation, regardless of conference or whatnot, Rhode Island's been playing phenomenal. Head coach Jim Fleming has done an excellent job in rebuilding that program. They were a perennial doormat in the CAA, and now they are a power, and they go and take on a team in Western Michigan who struggles to score. And when you look at what Rhode Island has done defensively this year, only giving about 13.5 points, this pairs up perfectly for the Rhode Island Rams to go on the road and get the win straight up over Western Michigan.
Tom, how about a straight up win from you?
Yeah, it's not a huge upset. Buffalo's a small underdog to UConn. I make them a slight favorite at home. You look at UConn, they just lost to Delaware and barely beat just an awful Ball State team. So I don't think this is a great Huskies team. A good revenge spot for Buffalo. They lost 47-3 to UConn last year. So I'll take Buffalo to pull the upset at home.
All right, Tom, give me 10 seconds or less on an FCS or Group of 5 game you're looking forward to watching the most.
Idaho, Montana. Idaho lost by 3 to San Jose State, Washington State. Montana 3-0, 2 wins over Cupcakes. We'll see what happens.
Emory?
UT Rio Grande Valley in their first year of FCS football, first year of football, period. They're undefeated. They take on Southeastern Louisiana. We'll learn a lot about the Vaqueros in this ball game, more so than any other game they played this season.
Oh, always a profitable segment, always an extremely interesting segment from Emory Hunt, Tom Casale. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Early Edge on CBS Sports Network. But don't forget, on the SportsLine YouTube channel, you can catch the Early Edge Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy Monday Night Football. We'll see you next time on the Early Edge.